but nice weather, no rain. It's supposed to rain 100% tomorrow. So we're gonna try to get outside and get some work done. Right now I'm on the side of my garage looking at all this cardboard we put out here when we moved here last October. And my plan is to haul it to my garden and start laying it down in the areas where I want paths and where I'm trying to get these weeds to stop growing. And my other plan is, if I can fit it in today, is to take some tarps and lay them down on this garden bed here, because I've got a lot of weeds coming up and there are rhizomes. It is a grass. It's also some sort of weed that grows on this property. And if I were to pull them up, they would pull up any sort of seedling I have in the ground. So I'm gonna have to be smart about how I get rid of these weeds. Hey, come here. No, you stay. He's trying to get away from me. He thinks he's sly. So anyway, that's the plan. I also have some cabbages and Brussels sprouts to plant. And that is because after I planted my cabbages on the last video, the darn chickens got in the garden, in the brand new garden gate, swung open, and they got in and they ate half of my brand new how would you say that? Newly planted cabbages. And 2 days later, we had a light freeze, which I didn't think would affect them, and it killed them. Strangely enough, it didn't kill my cabbages that were in my other planter, but it killed the ones in my garden. So just an all-out fail with my cabbages and cauliflower. So I went and bought some because I want some in the garden. And we're gonna put those in the ground today. So that's the plan. Lay down cardboard, possibly lay down some tarps, get these cabbages and Brussels sprouts in the ground, and yes, that's what we plan on doing. So this is the weed problem I'm dealing with. We had a ton of goldenrod out here last year, and I'm sure a lot of this is what's coming back, and it's all through my garden. And I totally expected this to happen because we did till the ground, but we didn't really have the opportunity to pull. Well, there's just so much of this stuff, we couldn't pull all of it up. We got as much as we could pulled up. And I have seedlings coming in. These are my kohlrabis and my rutabaga. So if I were to pull these up, it would kill those little seedlings. So what I think I'm gonna do to clip these off at the base here, and then they'll at least stunt their growth for a while so they're not taking nutrients from these little seedlings. I am so happy to see these seedlings, by the way. I was starting to doubt that they were gonna do anything, so that is exciting. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to come through here. I'll probably have my kids do that so I can put my energy elsewhere. But I'm gonna clip those off, and then I have this whole pallet of, bring him over here, Madeline. Bring him over here. I have this whole pallet of Brussels sprouts that I wanna put in, potentially here. And then those cabbages I will replace in these two beds where they got eaten in frostbite. Oh. Granted, this does look messy and it's definitely not my ideal, but I also have a vision for what will happen here. Collecting free mulch, free wood chips, you find all kinds of free stuff that people are trying to get rid of on Marketplace. And so I just am needing to spend some time on there to look around, and that's what will go on top of that cardboard for my pathways. So at least I can see the garden taking shape. And even more so, I'm just killing out those weeds that are in there. Oh, look who it is. Hi, Gus Gus. You're just the cutest rabbit in the world. This is our Netherland dwarf, Gus Gus. And he's just our sweet baby. Be careful with him. Yes. So anyway, yes, this looks a mess, but I'm actually utilizing some really great resources. And I would say this is something I kind of specialize in and that I love, is that this cardboard would all have either gone to waste, been burnt, or given to someone that's moving. A lot of times we like to share our boxes when we're moving, but I decided to keep a really good amount of it because I knew that this will break down over time and will become part of the nutrient organic system of this garden, and I love that. So not only is it killing out weeds, but it is going to decompose. It'll become what I need it to become as far as the pathways go. And there's some places where I need to pull off some more tape. Like, I don't recommend leaving the tape and the plastic on there because that will not decompose. But this is just a really great way to use things that you already have pizza boxes. I mean, I've saved pizza boxes because they're like the perfect width if you get the really large ones like we do. And laying those down on the ground and using those things to create your garden space. So just saying. So anyway, I just highly encourage you to think of ways that you can use things that you already have on your property and in your house that can be utilized in your garden. Another exciting thing that I was very excited to see was that we have pea shoots. Yay! I need to go back and look at when we planted these. I feel like it's been 2 or 3 weeks, but they are finally coming up, right? And most of them look like they've germinated. So that's really exciting because I was really afraid the birds were going to come out here and eat these. So yay for pea sprouts. I'm most happy about is I've been out here kind of looking around the last couple days and I've been super disappointed because I haven't seen any sprouts. But on closer observation today, I am seeing all kinds of sprouts. I'm seeing kohlrabi and rutabaga and my radishes and lettuces and the carrots. So stuff is coming up, which is really exciting. I mentioned my peas. So yay! I just had this sickening feeling like, oh man, this is gonna be the year that just everything dies, nothing sprouts, but there is hope. Life will happen if you give it the opportunity. So I definitely know that these beds are going to need amending. I have not done a soil test. Shame on me. I need to, and I probably still will with my kids for like a science experiment, just to kind of see where we're at out here. The biggest disappointment right now is I am not seeing any sprouts from my potatoes. And so I'm just wondering if they just didn't get a big enough sprout on them. I'm not really sure. I feel like I bought them from a good company. They're organic. I did what I usually do. There were some that I was kind of doubtful would make it. So I'm going to hold out that when the weather warms up, I'll see more. But in case they don't, you can plant as late as into June if you get a shorter season potato. So I've already ordered some sweet potatoes. And in Michigan, Covington, Centennial, I'm forgetting one. Covington, Centennial. There's another variety that's supposed to be really good for up here up north. Jet Garnet, I think, was one. These were all suggested by MSU Extension, Michigan State University, which is where I go to for a lot of my information on gardening if I need something that's specific to Michigan especially. There is another variety, but it's just not coming to mind, so I'll put it in the notes. But those are all good sweet potatoes that they've actually grown in Michigan, so I'm going to give that a try, even though sweet potatoes are considered a hot weather plant and we only have like a few days in July that are actually considered a hot season. So anyway, long story short, if these don't sprout, I'm going to buy more and put them in and also be planting some sweet potatoes among them. So we will get potatoes one way or the other. Say hi, my garden buddy. Say hi. Yes. You ready to garden? I have made a decision. I think there are a few purple cauliflowers that don't look completely decimated. They still look like they have some life in their stems. So I'm going to hold out on a couple of them and see if they come back. I've seen this happen before where if there's just like a baby leaf on it that's grown, that it will still come back. So I did plant some cabbages kind of nearby in case they don't make it. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I think might pull through. And I'm willing to take that chance because I really want that purple cauliflower. And then brassicas, like Brussels sprouts and cabbages, actually grow well near potatoes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start interplanting the leftovers that I have here. Since I already have the dirt turned, I'm going to go get a shovel and pull out some of these rhizomes. Oh, she just doesn't want to hang on. We can do it. Look at yourself in the camera. Yeah. And then I'm gonna start planting them like right there. So I kind of keep them together, and I just want to make the most out of what I've got here. So that's the plan. Instead of trying to till up this garden bed right now while I don't have a lot of time with her, I'm gonna start putting them here by these potato rows and interplanting them, since I know they grow well together. So we're gonna go get lunch. Yes, and then on our next nap, we're gonna be back out here getting the cabbages in. Say bye. Could you say bye? Well, I'm finishing up out here. I've been amazed how much I've been able to get done today. The kids have been amazing, cooperating, helping with Violet. And this looks great. I'm really excited about what I've been able to get done. So I'm gonna show you before I throw the straw down. And this is actually straw that's got some rabbit and chicken manure in it, and I'm not too worried about it. It's not too saturated and high in, like overly high in nitrogen material, but I think it'll be good to just get down on top of these plants and give them some extra nutrition, since they are going to be heavy feeders once they really start going. So I've got a couple more plants to put in the ground, but I just want to get this video before the rain comes. So here we go. We've got 2 rows of Brussels sprouts, 2 rows of cabbages, and then I did 1 more row because I just decided to use all these plants of cabbages, and I'll fill out that end with the rest of the Brussels sprouts. So I feel really good about that. And what I ended up doing was going every other row between my potatoes, because the way I figure it is I just need this one path here once they start growing to be able to access this garden and access those potatoes. And then same here, I have this nice wide path here to where I can access these potatoes and really even these cabbages. So I'm not too worried about being able to access this. I may change my mind later on during the season, but this is what we're doing for now. So it's got this really nice dirt, have all these in. I've got a pathway there, a pathway here, another bed. And actually what I plan on doing once my my herbs inside get a little bit bigger and hardier, once I've kind of hardened them off, is I will come and plant them in between these cabbages. So it won't just be cabbages and Brussels sprouts. I will interplant some things, and probably even some flowers in there, just for diversity and for pest control. But I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna throw some straw on here and go inside and get dinner going.